The Flux Raider. The Flux Raider. The Flux Raider. The Flux Raider. Ah! Come on, faster. Ready? It's not bad. Again. That sucks. It was only being held in by one screw, so my optic plate fell off. Don't need it for the flux, it's all good. Casualty of war. Whoops. Just kidding, I would never. I gotta hit up arc so I can get more screws for my plate. Ah, the flux is fun. It's hard to hit that that slide stop. So like when I go to empty, right? I'm not sure if I should try to be hit that with my thumb or if I should, like when I go for the reload, do like one of those. I don't know. It's kind of hard. I was hanging up on it pretty easily too. Also, be careful where you put your thumb on one of these because like a little too far forward and you might just lose a little bit of it. Just kidding. Anyway, Flux Raider. That's what today's video is about. Talk a little bit about it. Yeah, ooh, look at that too. We did not confirm that everything was mounted appropriately when we started this video. Hence the wiggly optic. We'll fix that, it's okay. All right, let's do the whole thing over again. Okay, so got mags reloaded, and after our little series of unfortunate events, we brought some extra parts. Now it's mounted properly. The optic's not gonna come loose. The plate, I mean, that's just done. But you don't really need it. You gotta take off the rear iron anyway, so it just is what it is. But this is the Flux Raider. This has our Kraken with our Rebel riser mount, and then I've got an Arc Division slide right here. Got the big old chunk port at the top. And this thing's a ticking time bomb because you never know when a 320 is just gonna go off on you. I'm just kidding. That's why you either shoot them a lot or shoot them not at all. So today we're talking about the Raider. We've posted a few pics of this recently and it's gotten a little bit of attention, so figured we'd bring it out, do a video. This thing is just really fun to shoot. It's a cool platform. One of the comments, maybe we'll blur his name out and throw it down here, was like this is a stupid solution to an even dumber question or something. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this thing's sweet. And it's like the perfect middle ground. If you're like, I don't have enough space for a rifle, but I want something that's more controllable than a pistol. So this thing's really cool. So we'll shoot a little bit for you. I have the target right in front of me. I really like this thing. The only thing that's kind of goofy about this particular setup is the Arc Division slide is sweet and the chunk port is awesome, but you know, normal pistol distance is out here, right? So if I'm shooting out here, that port doesn't really bother me at all. When I bring it half the distance to my face, it's a little bit more concussive, but not the end of the world. Still pretty sweet. One of the things I like about the Flux is one, that it gives you a safety. So that's cool. More safety, good. And the other thing I like about the Flux too is that, like I said, it's that middle ground between a pistol and a rifle. So it has a different manual of arms. That's the thing. It doesn't function like a pistol and it doesn't function like your typical AR. So when you're looking at this thing, right, you've got a safety. The grip's a little bit lower than it would be on a normal 320, so you can't quite hit your slide stop release the same way you can on a pistol, but you don't have the same style of like magazine drop. So it takes a little bit of time to learn this properly and to realize that it just needs its own attention. You know, like you do your pistol training and you do your rifle training, you would need to do flux training, practice with this to get really proficient with it. So like I was doing before though, one of the super cool things about this is the reload. So you've got a tab right here, okay? So it says both mags on it because they know we're stupid and can't read. So actually, I guess I don't know why they put writing on it, but that's okay. So when you hit this tab with your thumb, so you kind of, I'm right here, right? We're still clear gun, right? I reach up for my second mag, and then right where my thumb kind of wants to naturally go, I hit that button, and then both mags will drop free. So let's do that, okay? So I'm shooting, and I want to tack reload, so I go boom, and I want to reload. So I just thumb, I did it wrong. If you half press, it only takes the front out. Okay, try again. So I'm shooting, pop, I want to tack reload, hit both, it drops for me, one movement, in. We're just gonna pretend like I can shoot a fucking gun because apparently I can't. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Let's try this again. So, shoot, okay, hit both mags, you pull this one out, straight in, hand comes back up, and you're good to go. So that's what it's supposed to do. Again, it requires its own practice that I clearly haven't done. So I'm sorry, internet haters. So the other thing that people, when they see this, they're like, whoa, that looks kind of goofy. Like that's too tall, you know? And they think it's like a skyscraper on a rifle. So they're like, that's just so tall. But the reality is, imagine if you were to put this lower or even put the optic where it goes on the slide, right, where the slide page shows you. Imagine trying to get your eye further down so I could look through my iron sights or look through my dot on my plate. Like, it doesn't work like that. You need a little bit of height over bore for this thing to work well. So you can obviously do like straight to this pick. And so on the Flux, you have a pick rail right here. We put the riser up just to bring the optic up a little bit. But even from right here, right, I still have to bring my head down to get to it, but my head is still in that natural position. And so the height over bore with this is actually pretty darn good. You don't really get a cheek weld with these. And so you do kind of have to just float. But we really like the Kraken on this as well. Just, it's kind of that kind of gun where you throw it in a bag, you kind of beat up on it. So that enclosed emitter kind of gives you that rifle optic feel. And so that's why we went with the Kraken. But you can also do like the Liberty 2, Justice 2. You can get like one of our 1913 pick rail adapters for RMR, or you can do this little riser. So that's why I like the Kraken for it. But we've done the Justice 2 and Liberty 2 as well on build just like this. So yeah, this thing is pretty sweet. It's just super entertaining to shoot. When you're looking at one of these things and you're like, what would I like use that for? Like, here's the reality, right? It isn't a rifle and it isn't a pistol either, right? It is something in between. And what's really cool is in its collapse configuration. I mean, this thing, like at the beginning of the video, right? Obviously I wouldn't really do this, but maybe you could, I don't know, why not? So, kind of looks a little goofy, but the fact that I can fit it in my jacket at all, right, it's kind of crazy. So that gives you an idea of like the overall size of this thing. But imagine, you know, a laptop bag, a small backpack, like this is the perfect size to be able to dump something like this into it and have that super fast deployment of a weapon system that gives you the advantages of a rifle and the advantages of a pistol within reason. Obviously, like a rifle is never gonna be a pistol is never gonna be a rifle, I get it. I get the people that are like, it doesn't make sense. But the reality is it is an intermediate. Like if I had to make a 100-yard shot with a pistol, I'd rather do it with a Flux. I'd rather do it with a system that allows more points of contact to the gun, right? So now I have one in the rear, right? One with my firing hand, one with my support hand, and then if I want to try and get a cheek weld, I can, but I have more points of contact with the gun. I have a more stable system. I have more ammunition closer at hand. And at the end of the day, if I had a pistol, right? Like I'm not gonna swap this out for my concealed carry pistol, but it'd be something that I could put into a bag and give myself that extra force multiplier so that, you know, I'm in a situation, I got my backpack, and if I have the second to deploy this, right? Where I've got the time to pull it out as opposed to taking my concealed carry, I would wanna grab this. I'd wanna put this in my hands because I'm gonna feel more confident, faster reloads. And then if something with this is a problem or I can't access this fast enough, which I understand, then I have my concealed carry, right? This doesn't replace that, but it does supplement it and provides me that extra force multiplier. So that's kind of like why I like the Flux. I get it, internet trolls just don't like new things, and that's fine. You can just chill in your little corner of the internet, and yeah. But these are cool, and nobody can convince me otherwise. So that's what I got for you guys today. If you guys are checking out the Kraken, swampfoxoptics.com. This thing's pretty rad. And if you want to check out the Flux, they're not always in stock because they are popular, believe it or not. You can find these on Flux's website. And yeah, pretty good time. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, do all the YouTube stuff. You already know what it is. It tells YouTube you like us. It tells us that you like us, and we like that. I appreciate that. It makes me feel good. And I do read the comments, so sometimes I stew a little bit too much on the comments that piss me off, but that's okay. I'm a human being, and I appreciate your love and support. So does all of Swampfox. Thank you so much. Goodbye.